This one's tough and it's good. I discovered this about 10 months ago. Perusing the internet. It's a Christmas memory circa 1913 shared by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. He recalls the telephone call to my father came late at night from a most unlikely place, a house in the red light district of the city. The woman who ran the house said that one of the girls who worked there was very ill, perhaps dying. The girl was calling for a minister. Somehow the woman had heard of my father. Would he come? My father never failed to respond to such an appeal. Quietly, he explained to my mother where he was going. Then his eyes fell upon me. "Get your coat, Norman," he said. "I want you to come too." My mother was aghast. "You don't mean you take a 15-year-old boy into a place like that?" My father said, "There's a lot of sin, sadness, and despair in human life. Norman can't be shielded from it forever." We walked through the snowy streets, and I remember how the Christmas trees glowed and winked in the darkness. We came to the place, a big, old frame house. A woman opened the door and led us to an upstairs room. There, lying in a big brass bed, was a pathetic, doll-like young girl, so white and frail that she seemed like a child, scarcely older than I was. Before he became a minister, my father had been a physician, and he knew the girl was gravely ill. When he sat on the edge of the bed, the girl reached for his hand. She whispered that she had come from a good Christian home and was sorry for the things she had done and the life she had led. She said she knew she was dying and that she was afraid. "I've been so bad," she said, "so bad." I stood there listening. I didn't know what anybody could do to help her, but my father knew. He put both his big, strong hands around her small one. He said, "There's no such thing as a bad girl. There are girls who act badly, sometimes, but there are no bad girls or bad boys either, because God made them, and He makes all things good." "Do you believe in Jesus?" The girl nodded. He continued, "Then let me hear you say, 'Dear Jesus, forgive me for my sins.'" She repeated those words. "Now," he said, "God loves you, His child who has strayed, and He has forgiven you. No matter when the time comes, He will take you to your heavenly home." If I live to be 100, I will never forget the feeling of power and glory that came into that room as my father then prayed for that dying girl. There were tears on the faces of the other women standing there, and on my own too, because everything sordid, everything corrupt was simply swept away. There was beauty in that place. The love born in Bethlehem was revealing itself again on a dark and dismal street in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing could withstand it. Nothing. So that was the gift I received that Christmas, the frankincense knowledge that there's good in all people, even the sad and the forlorn, and that no one need be lost because of past mistakes. That 15-year-old boy went on to become a pastor and an author of a renowned book called The Power of Positive Thinking, among others.